equivalent fractions. Here we have one whole circle. If we take the same circle and cut it into two equal parts, it would look like this. You can see that in the circle, one part out of two has been shaded. Let us use the same circle again, but instead of having two equal parts, let's cut it into four equal parts. We now have quarters. If we shade two parts out of the four, what do you notice? The amount has been shaded. That's right. From this visual representation, we can see that one half is the same amount as two quarters, which means they are equivalent fractions. Let's try and find another equivalent fraction. We can take the same circle, but this time, let's cut it into 6 equal parts. This means that the denominator is 6, as there are 6 equal parts altogether. How many parts would we need to shade to make it equivalent to 1 half or 2 quarters? We will need to shade 3 parts. That's right. If we shade 3 parts, that will make it equivalent to 1 half as well as 2 quarters, because they all represent the same amount shaded. Let's try one more example using the same circle, but this time we are going to have 8 equal parts. If there are 8 equal parts altogether, that means the denominator is 8. To find the equivalent fraction as the fraction before, how many parts do we need to shade? In this new circle of x, we will need to shade 4 parts. Well done! 4/8 is the equivalent fraction to all the previous fractions we have. There are other ways we can identify and represent equivalent fraction. One of the easiest way is with a result called a fraction wall. Here we have a whole rectangle. We are going to create equal parts with this rectangle as we did with the circles. We can create 2 equal parts, 3 equal parts, 4 equal parts, and so on. When we look at equivalent fraction using the circles, we discover that 1 half is the same as 2 quarters. Let's see if that is true on this fraction wall. So here is 1 half, here is 1 quarters, and 2 quarters. As you can see, they both show the same amount looking at the fraction wall. Can you see the next fraction that is equivalent to 1 half or 2 quarters? If you say 3/6, you will be correct. There are another 2 equivalent fractions to these ones on the fraction wall. Can you see what they are? The other 2 equivalent fractions are 4/8 and 5/10. All of these fractions are equivalent fractions as they all show the same value. Equivalent fractions are used in the fraction wall to help you identify all the equivalent fractions. For 1/3, remember equivalent fractions represent the same value. So, the equivalent fraction of 1/3, what is that? Can you guess it? Yes, as you can see on the fraction wall, there are 2 6 and 3 9s. We hope we have helped you understand what equivalent fractions are.